Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is the second chapter or the second video. In last video, we have learned about generative AI. That was a long video for almost about 50 minutes or so. I forgot at this point. But we ended up that video by showing up how we can programmatically using OpenAI or any other generative AI. And then we promise that next video will show how we can do that programmatically and we'll write a program to do that. So today, just a quick recap before we jump into the coding. We discussed about these roles and relations, right? There are three roles. One is system role, then user role, and then assistant role. So we'll be all seeing all these things in the programming now. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into the coding. But before we do the coding, we have to come here uh, in openai.com. So if you log in with an openai.com, here you have to create the API key. So I have a login, so I just have logged in with my credentials and all, and then if I go to API key, I have an API key. You can simply create one API key just by giving a your project name and the key name, and it will create a secret key. And then you have to copy that key because I don't know we'll get a chance ever. Yeah, I think uh, first time only when we let's create a key first of all. So I have already created a project. So once you comes inside this OpenAI, you can create a project. Once you create a project, under that project you can create a key. So let's do it, my test key, and you can use that key for means you can bound that key under any project. So if you have multiple projects, you can choose that project under which you can bound that key. And then permissions, what kind of permissions you want to give to that key. Is it only read only, means restricted, or so restricted is like, you can tell that okay, this model only can use this key and all other models cannot use this key. And I don't want to, means it's little complex. You have to go through and understand what it is doing. I don't want to go or make this video that complex, so I'll do like, all permission all, and then I'll create a key. And this is the time, what I'm saying, this is the time where you have to copy the key, because after that you won't have access to this key. So this is the time you have to copy and keep it somewhere else so that you can use this key, and then done. So now I just created this key and this is my old key. You can have multiple key created, no issues. So I'll still using my old key, but this is how you can create the key. It has lots of informations here. You can check by clicking each of these module. And then here, if you go to the API reference, it has lot more information. You should go to this API reference and read it through, how this works and all. What else? Yeah, so this, if you see here, right, how these API models are getting used. So you can do a call command like this and there will be a response. So how you are using, you are passing uh, the API key as a bearer token, and then you can choose a model. So there are two or rather three important things, right? One is the API key. Second one is that which model you want to use, because now OpenAI has lots of different models, right? If we come to ChatGPT here, it's by default is using GPT-5. But here in programmatically, you can choose different models. So here it has used GPT 4.1 and you can use GPT 5, means whatever is available for API. From API documents you can get that, and then you can use that model, and this is the input, like what you are asking. This is basically the prompt, and then there will be a response like this. Similarly, if you want to do image, if you want to pass an image, how you can pass it, we will do all these things programmatically, not in this video. This video is all about text input, but in future we'll play with images and audio and many other things. So overall it's same thing. This is the request. We are passing API key as a bearer. We are using a model, and then we are passing that image as an input, and then also passing a text and asking that what is this image, and then OpenAI is explaining what is this image, like that. So all these different types are there, but I will strongly recommend that go through this API reference once and try to understand how these APIs works. Okay, so we are done here. We have created our API key, and we'll be using that API key in the program. Let's go to the coding. I have already created a project. This project has many other aspects, but I'll explain exactly what we are doing to make a call to OpenAI only for chat model. So first thing is, this is a Spring Boot project. As all other Spring Boot project, you can create, you just create a simple Spring Boot project, and then I'll tell you what all dependencies you need. So let's go to the form, and I'll show you what all dependencies you need. So I'm using Java 17, and I am using Spring AI for programming because I am a Java resource. I'm a Java guy, rather, like, I'm working in Java for almost 20 years now. So I cannot think of any other programming language rather than Java. So I used Java, Spring AI rather. So this is the Spring AI version I'm using. This is a web dependency. You all know, who knows Spring Boot. So this is the Spring Boot starter web dependency. This is what you will need. This is a dev tool. You don't need it, but since I am doing multiple other stuffs in this project, so I kept it is handy. This is very helpful if you are as a developer. Means you don't need to restart the server whenever you make a changes. You just make a change, save it, and this dev tool will take it up, like, it will restart and reload the server with your changes, so you can just see the changes on the fly. This is a test module, so it's give me all the testing aspects. You don't need it, you can keep it rather, but for this project you don't need, absolutely don't need it. This is what you will absolutely need. You need this. This is basically that OpenAI service. So this artifact ID service is coming group ID com Quickening OpenAI ChatGPT GPT-3 Java. This is the dependency you need for this project. And then all these dependencies I have commented out because those are for different use cases, which will go in future videos. But for this video, we don't need it. The other dependency we need is this dependency. This is basically Spring AI dependency, which is a plugin with OpenAI. So this is the Spring AI dependency for OpenAI, or to connect with OpenAI. So you will also need this dependency. Then this is the model we need. Sorry, I mean, say this is the BOM we need uh, for dependency management. So this is also you will need, and then this is common thing, right? The plugin we are using, Spring Boot Maven plugin for our build and all. And yeah, these are the common stuff. So this is it for Spring. Sorry, for the POM. Mainly, apart from the common plugins which we need for a Spring Boot project, we need these two dependencies mainly. This one, this is the pure OpenAI dependency. The second one is this one, Spring AI dependency. Okay, so Uh, this is it for the POM. Then we'll go to that application.properties. So in application.properties, again, I have commented out all other entries because we are not going to use them in this project, and we want to run this application in 9292 port. So this is where I defined server.port 9292, and then this is the application name I have given. And then these are the two very important things which we need for this project is spring.ai.openai.api key, where I have copied the key. So when I said, right, we had to keep the API key so that we can use it. So this is where I'm using the API key. So this is the API key I am using. So it's a big API key. I'm not showing it totally because this is my personal API key. I don't want anyone to use it. And one more thing, while we are discussing about the API key, initially you might can get a few dollars when you join OpenAI. I'm not very sure at this point if they are giving it or not. Else you can uh, add $5 using a credit card. $5 will do everything, like you can do hundreds of tests using that $5. So you might have to add a $5 just to hit these APIs. And then this is the model. This is the OpenAI model. So I'm using GPT-4o mini. So this is it for application.properties. Now let's see the application. So this is the controller. These dependencies will automatically come when you use the code. So I'll explain all these dependencies while explaining the code. So I have added a OpenAI controller. This is basically a REST controller. So this is a REST controller. I have uh, gathered those properties, right? Means whatever I have as a token value or the config value in application properties. So I have retrieved those config values here. So this is how you need to retrieve, if you know Spring Boot, you know how to retrieve those values. So I'm model will retrieve this OpenAI.model from application and properties. API key will retrieve the API key values here. So all these values will be populated at the runtime. Then what I'm doing, I have written this method in the controller. I have endpoint here. So this is the endpoint through which I'll hit this, or I'll invoke this method. API v1 chat through OpenAI. You can give any other name, whatever you like. But what the input of this method is, it's a request param. I'm passing a prompt message. It's coming as a string. So whenever we'll invoke this method, I have to pass input as string, which will be my prompt. And then this is the service which I said, this particular thing, this particular dependency, right? This is what I'm using it here. This dependency, this is the service. So this is coming for OpenAI service. This is coming directly coming from OpenAI. If you see this is directly coming from OpenAI com threatening OpenAI service packages. And how I'm getting it through this dependency injection here. So since I have added this dependency, that jar has been added to my project, and here I am using that uh, class OpenAI service. So what I have to do to create that service, I have to pass that API key. So I have passed that API key in the service. Next is we use the role here, as we explained, right, that there are different roles, system user and assistant role, which we learned last time in our last video. If you haven't seen the last video, I'll say before watching this particular uh, episode, you go back to the previous episode and watch the video, then you will have lots of informations why we are doing it and how this will work. So now, while you are creating the messages, I am giving a system message where I'm telling this OpenAI that you are a helpful assistant. So this is a system message, and then as part of the user, I am passing the prompt. So prompt is nothing but whatever message I will pass through the program, that will come as a prompt. So that will be user prompt. So this is what you need to do. And after that, what I'm doing is I am creating that completion request. So if you see here, this is again coming from com OpenAI completion completion request. So this is coming from the same library, and we are doing a builder. Builder is nothing but it will step by step it will build the request. So how it is building the request? So first it is passing the message. Message is nothing but this overall thing where a system message is there, where a user prompt is there, that will be passed as a message. And dot model, the model whatever I have given here, that model will be passed, this model will be passed here. Next step, then I'm setting a temperature. This temperature is very useful, like we have from 0 to 1, it can vary from 0 to 1. 0 is very static, like it won't change. It means it have less creativity. If I change it to 0, this temperature, it will have less creativity. Means if I run this program 10 times, almost 10 times, it will give the same response. If I do it 1, it will vary, but it won't be very accurate. So the range means a range where we will have reliability along with creativity is zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7. That's what suggested value for a temperature to use, so we can have a reliable answer as well as a very good creativity. And then this n value 1 is basically I'm telling that okay, give me one answer. I don't need, if I, if you change it to 2 to 3, you will get three different answer for one prompt. So for now I'm giving n is equal to 1, and then this doing build. So now after this one, this chat completion request is complete. Now we have a complete request here. Now we are using that service which we have created using the API key, and we are calling this method. This is an inbuilt method of the service, create chat completion, where we have to pass that chat completion request and get choices. So if we do that, we'll get a choices which will come as a list. So now we are, so it will call basically now at this point in this line, it will call OpenAI service, it will get the choices as a list, and then we are iterating the choices which is a list and check every choices and pulling out their message and their content. And we are doing a line separator, we are using a line separator, so we can check like in each choice and their content, we are writing it here in the string. And finally we are returning that string to the caller service, right? Means whoever will call this endpoint will be, means it will be returning back this response as a string to that calling service. I hope I was able to explain this program to you, and now you do not have any doubt on this program, and you can also write this program uh, and test it. So next is testing this program, right? So we'll test it through, I don't have a front end UI. So what I'll do, I'll use a Postman to test it. I have already tested this one before. So let's see the program again. What we need to pass, we just need to pass a prompt. That's it, right? So let's change the prompt, explain. explain the difference between AI agent and agentic AI. Okay, so this is the prompt I am passing. Explain the difference between AI agent and agentic AI. And let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't run the program. So see. Okay, let's run this program. Means my Spring Boot application. So I'm now running my Spring Boot application. Wow, what is this error? Unsatisfied dependency exception. Ah, I know why. So basically, just to show you only the program required for this episode, I commented out all these dependencies here, and but it's there in the code. Means I removed the dependencies from the POM, right? So but the code is there, so it's giving compilation error. So I will remove all other I'll add back all other dependencies which for which the code is present, right? I have to do that, otherwise it will give an error, but you don't need them. Just for the controller which I showed to run that, you don't need these dependencies, and I need it because I have the code for these dependencies, and that's why I will open them all. Oops. So yeah, I think now it is good. I have opened all the dependencies which are needed. Let me build it once. Let me run it now. Yeah, now it is running. So it started now. You can see 9292 port. So what I have to do, this is the Postman call. So it's a get call. If you see here, this is a get method. This is a get mapping, and this is the endpoint. So I have used this endpoint. It's running in my localhost. So localhost 9292, and this is the endpoint. And then I have to pass a prompt message. If you see here, I have to pass this prompt message. So I'm passing this prompt message, and this is the message. And if I hit it, it will invoke this method. It is invoking this method, and it is taking time because it's connected to OpenAI now. So this is the magic is happening, and you see I got this response back from OpenAI. So it says response, the terms AI agent and agentic AI refers to different concepts within the field of artificial intelligence, and understanding their distinction is important. So AI agent is both terms, so blah 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 blah, and then agentic AI. So it gave me, like, the differences between AI agent and agentic AI. And similar thing you can do it, uh, here in ChatGPT, but what we did, instead of doing this in ChatGPT, we did it programmatically. So almost similar answer, it or overall, like, the same thing it will be giving. But now what we did it programmatically, so our program retrieve it. And then programmatically, the thing is, it's more robust, as we can use this response now to some other program and do something new, create something new. So we'll do keep doing these things. We'll be keep playing with different AI agents and different LLM models in future, and we'll see what all things we can come up with. We'll try to build some new agents as well, and we'll see how those goes. But for today's video, I think this is it, and I was successfully able to explain you how programmatically we can call AI agents, not sorry, AI agents, I'm saying call LLMs, and how to get the response from LLM programmatically. And I used Spring AI and OpenAI. So hopefully you like this video. If you still haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel. That will boost me to do new video and sharing my knowledge on programming as well as artificial intelligence. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys.